First, you lied, right? Then you lied about lying, okay? Then you lied about lying about lying.
Welcome back to the podcast. Welcome back. Beloved, this is indeed your brother Big VJ checking in. Today's conversation, we're going to talk about some paperwork. Right? We got some paperwork pulled up. Really, it's a post. You know what I mean? And this post is from my good brother Dogface TV podcast. And it seems like he has some paperwork up from the good brother Dollar Bill out of St. Louis, right? He got some paper. You see Gatling, Watkins up there, and you know, we can take a look at the work, and it says the investigation background. It got Demetrius' name on there. You can kind of like skip. It's like some tabs, right? So you got Demetrius on the first tab. On the second tab, it got Dollar Bill, right? Dionne Gatling, and next to that, it says user target telephone number 1. I want you guys to circle that because we're gonna put a pin in that and come back to that, and I'm gonna, let you guys know what that means. You dig? And then you see it got Fidel down there, right? Fidel Suarez, the guy Cuff said got caught with 97 bricks. You know what I'm saying? 97 bricks in Michigan, and he beat the case. Beloved, I'm from D-Mecca. Ain't a nigga alive got caught with 97 bricks and beat nothing. That's no. Listen. I gotta say this before we go over the paperwork that Dogface put up. Hey man, Dollar Bill said that when he was talking to Fidel, he said Fidel was like, yeah man, I want to see if I can help Meech get an appeal, man. Help Meech get a good lawyer, right? And in my mind, I'm like, nigga, you got the best lawyer, nigga. You just, the word on the street, you beat the case with 97 bricks, nigga. Meech need your lawyer. Shit, if I'm gonna keep it funky with you, goddamn Dollar Bill needs your lawyer right about now. 97 bricks and you walk away with it? Knock it off, my nigga. Please stop. But let's go back to this. There's a couple of words I want to go over, right? Because good brother Dogface, I want to call the brother Godface because he's from D-Mecca as well, like myself. So for the remaining part of the video, I'm gonna just say Godface, right? Because the brother is indeed from D-Mecca. Godface put some paperwork up, and it's a couple of words I want to go over before we even talk about the paperwork that he put up. Because in our estimate, it's looking like it's supposed to be the smoking gun or something, right? Because it got Demetrius' name on the paperwork. So there's a couple of words I want to go over with everybody that's listening, right? And the first word is co-conspirator. What is a co-conspirator, right? Because we just want to take our time, relax and chill. Just go over a couple of words first, though, because we're going to read what Godface put up, but let's just talk about the words first. You know what I mean? Because in my estimate, what's happening is this. Unfortunately, beloved, in our village, many of our people, the adults, right, are reading at a 5th and 6th grade level. And then when they start pulling paperwork from these crackers, they got like, this is a high level of education that's putting these sentences, these paragraphs, these documents together. And now when you get a community trying to read and comprehend something that was made by somebody or some people with a higher form of education, you're going to always have mistakes and hiccups and mishaps and in this case a lot of foolishness, because somebody can post something and they're really not knowing what they're really posting, right? But it's a question on the table, so we're not going to get that far away from the question. The question is, how did Meech's name get off the paperwork is what we're going to talk about today, right? But just remember, unfortunately, we do indeed come from a village that, the reading level was at a 5th and 6th grade reading level, right? Not only that, I want to say this. Unfortunately, you know, a lot of people from my village is illiterate. And I said this on a podcast a couple of years back. When you deal with our village, many of our people are illiterate. Now, when I was young, I didn't really fully understand what that meant myself. Illiterate doesn't mean you can't go into McDonald's and just read what a number 1 is and number 2 is. Illiterate doesn't mean you can't thumb through YouTube and you can't read like the title of a video. That's not what illiterate means. Illiterate means you have an issue, you have a difficulty reading and comprehending that what you are reading. So you can read something, you can read it over and over and over, but you can't comprehend it. That's why in my generation, see, I'm born in the 70s. So in my generation, part of our standardized test was reading and comprehension. You look at these youth today, these young people today, that shit is going away. That's a thing of the past. Everything is multiple choice because they're illiterate. I mean, just think about it. All the fucking tests you taking, you know, the test for your job, you go down there to get your driver license. Every fucking thing gonna be multiple choice because niggas is illiterate, right? Maybe all that is a different story for a different day. I'm saying that to say this. Give people grace when they make mistakes because they gonna fuck this shit up because these niggas is illiterate. And they're asking a question and they're literally posting the answers to their own question, but they think this a got you moment, like I got you. And I'm like, damn, my nigga, you kind of like posting the answer to your own shit. These niggas just don't know it. So, okay, a co-conspirator, because I want to do 2 definitions real quick first. A co-conspirator, and I want to do the definition of a unindicted co-conspirator, right? Okay, a co-conspirator is, we talking conspiracy now. So it's an agreement between 2 people to commit a criminal act, 2 or more, right? It's a conspiracy, right? So that means 2 people or more, y'all niggas agreed on doing a criminal act, right? Okay. A unindicted co-conspirator, because this is what we hear Dollar Bill say the most. Like, man, you know, Demetrius was my unindicted co-conspirator. Okay, so what does that mean, though? A unindicted co-conspirator is, it's a person or an entity that is alleged to have an indictment, to have engaged in the conspiracy. That's a unindicted co-conspirator. His role is alleged in the indictment, right? To have engaged in the conspiracy. Because it is alleged, it's the prosecutor's job to make it stick. But if the prosecutor can make it stick or they can't make it stick, that's where we're going to be at today. Because we're going to say, well, our nigga name ain't on the paperwork no more. Because the prosecutor got to make it stick, right? Okay, so let's take a good look at what Godface put up. You know what I'm saying? Let's take a look at what the brother did. He's doing amazing work. You know, there's a lot of niggas doing amazing work, man. They making panels and podcasts. They calling niggas from all over the country to sit down to try to make this man Demetrius. They try to make him. I'm trying to figure out what they trying to make the dude out to be. It's like a crazy mathematical equation that they trying to put up to prove that the man is a rat and all this. You know, you gotta, you know, it's like 13 times 17, 7 times 3, put the 1, carry the 2. Like they trying to put it out. See, this, you got to take a little piece from this and a little piece from this, and then go get these documents, get a little piece from this, see it all, put it together. It's like, nigga. The crackers in the DOJ ain't doing all that for no rat. Hey, Meech is supposed to be the special snitch. Like, they gonna be hiding all of his shit. They gotta hide. No. Nobody's shit is sealed, but Dollar Bill shit is sealed. Can't see Dollar Bill shit. Different story for different day. Let's go back to what the good brother Godface put up. Now, since we know what the definition between the two is, right, of a co-conspirator and an unindicted co-conspirator, now we all going to play the role of a prosecutor because we see Demetrius' name on the work, right? Okay, so the role that Meech have in this conspiracy is he's an orchestrator. He orchestrated the play between 2 other men. He's in the inside. Meech is he behind the wall, right? but he behind the wall, he orchestrated the play that's illegal between Fidel and Dollar Bill, right? Okay, so we're going to play prosecutor, because at this point we've been listening to so many niggas podcasts, we've been listening to so many niggas read paperwork, that at this point we heard enough paperwork to know, can a prosecutor make it stick with Meech, right, being the orchestrator? You did? That's the key word. So now if we play prosecutor, that means that we have a few paths to victory, right? And our path to victory looks like this. We got to show Demetrius in connection with Fidel that get in contact with Dollar Bill, or other path to victory is Demetrius to Dollar Bill back to Fidel, or we have to show the path between Demetrius and Tammy now to Dollar Bill or to Fidel. But remember, in a conspiracy, I got to show the players of two or more in an illegal act, right? It got to be a legal act. Now, because I'm the orchestrator, Demetrius, it has to start with him. A prosecutor must prove that it all starts with him, right? All right. When we look at Tammy, Tammy is the DEA's star witness. You understand? She's in pocket with them. She worked with the folks. She's their star witness. If your star witness is saying the first time of illegal communication was from Fidel to her about pills, does that put Meech as the orchestrator in that? Because we playing prosecutor now. We posting shit up on the, we think we got a smoking gun now. We posting shit all up on the post. We tagging niggas' names in it. Okay, we doing all of that. So we gonna see what grade level niggas is reading on at this point. If Fidel, right? If Fidel reaches out to Tammy and try to sell pills, is Meech the orchestrator in that? Of course not. Okay. So the questioner asks Tammy, he said, well, there any time you pass some telephone numbers around. He almost tried to get her jammed up. She started to say something. She stopped. She said, well, she went back to the situation where it was like Fidel reached out to her and said, dude said, no, he said, buddy say, give me Cuff number, right? Okay. That initiator was Fidel to Tammy to get the Cuff number. That takes Demetrius out again, right? This ain't rocket science now. This not hard. Just a little reading. It is not hard. So there's another point of contact where Fidel has a truck. This is July 2012, if I'm not mistaken. Where Fidel has a truck in St. Louis. He can't get in contact with Dollar Bill. So he calls Tammy. He doesn't call Meech. Because, of course, you know, niggas in the can got burner phones and all of this. Fidel didn't get to St. Louis in July 2012 and said, shit, I got to fucking call Meech to get in contact with Dollar Bill. That didn't happen. And even if that did happen, he's not the orchestrator, because the orchestrator by the federal, we talking about federal government or prosecutor, right? The orchestrator, it has to begin with that person. Now let's, since we know what we know, let's see why Demetrius' name is not on the paperwork. Well, that's pretty simple, beloved, because all of us know that a federal prosecutor, once they put a jacket on you, they can only do two things now. Once they put a jacket on you in a conspiracy, they only have two options. They can either dismiss or they can supersede you. Now, what the fuck is they gonna do with Demetrius? They put the jacket on him already. Sometimes, beloved, depending on who you talk to, sometimes motherfuckers putting the jacket on you, it ain't, well, it's not never. It's, I mean, I'm trying to really, let me say, I ain't gonna really say that. I ain't gonna say it's not a good time ever that the feds put a jacket on you. But if the feds do put a jacket on you in the role of a conspiracy now, they have to make that jacket stick, because by law, This is federal guidelines. You dig what I'm saying? By federal guidelines, they can only dismiss your role, or they can supersede what you did. They can't tweak your shit and say, oh, you know what? We thought this was his role. No, it really was a driver. Oh, we thought this, it really was. No, they can't do that. That's against the law for them to do that. That's why they had to take dude's name off the shit. They couldn't prove he was the orchestrator because their witness was saying Buddy the brown seed, right, from Cali was doing all the, it wasn't him. What the fuck they gonna keep his name on the work for? Well, let me guess, my nigga, you had the smoking gun. You put that shit, oh, I got the smoking gun. My nigga, you over there listening to Dollar Bill? Dollar Bill is making up stories that, and he has a right to do so. This is his life he's talking about. I mean, he has a right to do it. The only issue is Dollar Bill is making up a story. It doesn't jive with the paperwork. So what's happening is he's framing the shit for you first. He gonna put it in the frame for you. And now when you are reading, if you don't have, you know, the reading and comprehension skills is not there, you're going to see the exact same thing that he's framing for you. But the free niggas in the world, the free thinkers, we don't give a fuck what Dollar Bill is over there framing. The minute we start reading ourselves, we say, nah, bro, this doesn't match up with the shit that you was talking about. This is totally different than what you're talking about. Like, you're talking about a sting. You're talking about a sting that you got jammed up in, pardon me. We talking about Dollar Bill. He said he got jammed up in a sting in 2013, but according to the government star witness, Tammy Cowins, she said she cut off all illegal contact with dude in 2012. So what is he talking about? But look, I want to point something else out as well, right? Because this is key. You know what I mean? This is key because, you know, niggas, they got the smoking gun on the net all of a sudden now, right? If you go through one of the tabs, it'll say Dollar Bill, Dionne Gatling, right? St. Louis, Missouri. Then it says user target telephone number 1, right? Now, what does all you goddamn legal eagles out there, right? What the fuck does that mean? User target telephone number 1. What does that mean? Because we've been on this case and motherfuckers, you know, they going over back and forth and they got the whole, you know, we got panels and shit up there. That is an indication of this. On August the 28th, 2012, that's when Judge Autry, right? This is Henry Autry from Missouri. He signed an amended order authorizing the interception of wire communications of target telephone number 1. That's when he authorized cuff phone to be tapped, right? So now let's just do the math in your head. We can just it's not really hard at all. Now, if that user target telephone number 1, that is a connection with the judge that when he signed off. But look at the date and when the judge signed it off. August 2012. So if there was any communication on Dollar Bill's phone that he had prior to that could have had Meech jammed up or Meech on the phone, or could have had Meech and Fidel on the 3-way because he got a Meech in the keys in the can with a burner phone. Anything they could have showed him as the orchestrator, they wouldn't have it because they didn't get the tap until afterwards, right? But you niggas know that, right? You niggas playing legal eagle online. Y'all niggas know that, right? You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, man. You know, I listened to Dollar Bill, right? And I'm gonna go back. I gotta go back to this. I listened to the guy, right? And again, if I put all his interviews together that he put online, I would say he got 70, 75 minutes, maybe a little bit more content of his interviews with him talking, right? Again, the thing that he's very consistent about is that he doesn't take personal responsibility for anything. Because I'm going to show you what kind of man that these guys on the net are standing next to, right? Listen, they're standing next to a man that he's in his mid-50s. Because first of all, we got to start from the very beginning. He wants us to believe that he was a target for a time cut for Demetrius Flannery. Now, Demetrius Flannery, this is a dope boy. Man, this is a nigga from D-Mecca that nobody ever seen the likes of him and Terry ever. It's like it shit never happened in American history. He had a $700 million illegal drug dealing ring that it touched all 50 states. It touched, you know, heavens knows how many cities. Like, nobody never seen no shit like that. Like half of the drug empire, $350 million on his side. I mean, they said the man had like, I can't remember, like 15, 20 homes. They all $2 million or better. A bunch of $1 million homes was mixed into that. He had 30, 40 luxury cars that they had to confiscate. Like, okay, he's like a kingpin. Well, he's not like a kingpin. Demetrius is like, he's a kingpin. He's at the very top of the totem pole. And I feel as though that Dollar Bill, he misrepresented what a third party co-op is to the village, because he made it look like a person at that level, you know, at that top tier level, he can tell on a nigga that's washed. Because at this time, Cuff is already washed. At this point of the game, right, Dollar Bill is 47 years old. When they catch dude, because they were kind of representing him at first like he was a kingpin too. So we were thinking, okay, it makes sense. It was a kingpin for kingpin. We can see one kingpin, Demetrius, telling on another kingpin from St. Louis, and then he can get a time cut. Okay, that does make sense. But then when we read the work, we seen what Missouri had posted, or what they caught Dollar Bill with, we was like, nah, that's not.
Stop the cap.
Nah, my nigga, that don't happen. You know what I'm saying? When we seen dude get caught with 6 kilos, not 66, not 606, not 6,006. I mean, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ding. He's like, nigga got caught with 6 kilos, but he's 47, bro. Like, he's like, nigga, who's buying this story now? Like, he's 47 years old, and it was 4 other niggas on that case.
Stop the cap.
Look, let me tell you something. We just having a conversation. We just talking because it's all entertainment at this point. Unfortunately, it's real life. But it's like they got it on the net. So, okay, this is what it is at this point. What kind of nigga would this? Because just think about it, right? What kind of nigga, and we talking about Dollar Bill, he took a dope fiend on the jug with him. Because we reading everybody's paperwork now. Let me say it this way. We're reading the paperwork that is not sealed.
The United States of America versus Timothy Lamont Rush. Rush was unemployed, used heroin on a weekly basis, and had an extensive criminal history dating back to 1982 that included 2 prior federal drug convictions. Rush's personal history and characteristics such as lack of employment, extensive and serious criminal history, repeatedly poor performance while under court supervision, ongoing, chronic, and long-term history of substance abuse, and evidence that he was under supervision at the time of the instant arrest.
It's in the paperwork. He was on that boy. He was hitting that boy twice a week. So he was already fiended out. I can't see a man that strategically got his shit together. We talking Dollar Bill, and he gonna make a jug. He gonna make a play with a dope fiend.
Didn't know you like to get wet though.
What's wet?
Butt naked. Ill. Churn. Dust. PCP. Primos. E-Dog. That's what you had?
That's in the paperwork, beloved. See, he's telling one story. This is the problem we having with Dollar Bill. He's telling a story now. He's sensationalizing and all that shit. But when you read the documents, it's a totally different story than the one that the man is telling. Now, many of us that can really read, we just see, we're not going to let him frame it for us. Now, what kind of sophisticated guy running this shit from St. Louis, who would put, because listen, we understand that, you know, this is one of the challenges that we have in our village, that people are dealing with substance abuse issues. We get it. But we're not going to take this kind of nigga on to play with us, though. He's not going to make it. Quick thinking, fast moving, cleanliness, internal, external, right down to the modern times. He can't go. Cuff say he can go. Look, let's look at the decision making of the kingpin of St. Louis. Blue was telling the story, and Blue is kind of like he don't want to say the old head is shooting bad, but he says it without saying it because he's saying when Cuff used to come to the city, beloved, I used to have to let the dude borrow the car so he can look good around Atlanta. What, nigga? Look good around? Where's his car? He's the kingpin out of St. Louis. Cause this is the guy that he said Demetrius and Tammy made him a target to the nigga that's borrowing. He's going from this city to borrow the car, and then Cuff tried to clarify the borrow the car story because we're all thinking Atlanta. Because we seen Blue on the video with his 2013 Bentley. He's in Atlanta with this Bentley, right? Cuff telling another story about he's bought a little car from Blue in LA too. So I'm like, well, wait a minute, bro. You mean to tell me this guy is running around the country, he's borrowing cars, he's making jugs with fiends, he does this that it shows, in my estimate, a sign of desperation. Blue is going to finish telling the story. So Blue is like, I didn't know that Cuff was running around with Tammy. This is Blue talking, right? Okay. So Dollar Bill comes back. He's going to clarify the story. He said, yeah, I used to pick up the car from Little Blue. I used to go to Little Blue, pick up the car from Little Blue. And before then, he said, I was riding. He said, Demetrius sent another Mexican at me, but he rubbed me wrong because he was asking about the car. And he said, Dollar Bill, do you own that car, Dollar Bill? Who car is that, Bill? And he rubbed me the wrong way. Now let's pause. Let's pause, right? Let's think about that shit, though. All right, so you mean to tell me, man, you come to the city, my nigga open up the doors for you, and instead of you just taking the vehicle and going to make a play for Meech on a dollar on a part of it on a movie kind of like deal, you're running around in Blue car talking to niggas about other plays in the man car. I know that building got to be hot as a firecracker now because he said that the dude ended up being another CS. But why is you in my mind? I'm saying, why are you trying to throw the fat on Meech? But we get it because nigga, every time you talk, ain't nothing about no personal responsibility coming out of your mouth. But you're trying to show how Meech did something foul by throwing a Mexican at you. But in my mind, I'm listening to the situation like, why are you making a play in a nigga car? If the dude let you borrow the car just to go talk to some people about a movie, just take the car and look good and go talk to the shit about a movie. No, he's going to make a detour. And he's going to talk to niggas about some other shit and then come back and bring you your car back. That's like me, beloved. That's like me. You know what I'm saying? That's like me. I'm in Deep Mecca. And I got a good relationship with a lot of cats from 7 Mile. You understand? Like, it's just what it is. So I go to my partners on St. Mary's or Prevost or Winthrop somewhere, you know. I got a nigga on Oakfield. So I just go to one of my niggas' cribs over there, right? And I just pull up on him. Hey, man, let me borrow the car. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna go down and talk to these people about a Tubi movie. And he say, bet, right? So I get in my nigga car from 7 Mile. And then I block and I pick up one of the niggas' old bitch that he's fucked with back in the day. He don't know. I just do it. And then once I pick up his old bitch, I shoot over to Schoolcraft. Cause I finna talk to a nigga about another play. But I'm in my man's car. Now the nigga I'm fucking with is a government informant. You know what I'm saying? He worked with the people. But he quote unquote rubbed me the wrong way. So after I run around, do this little business I got, I take dude his car back. What kind of man would you say that I am now? This is the dude that Godface put on his platform. Man, I don't put niggas like that on my platform. The minute dude told me that, I'd have scrapped the interview, man. I'd have hit the delete button. Nah, I ain't putting this one out. There's some cutthroat nigga shit right here. You know what I'm saying? I don't want niggas to think I fuck with niggas like this. I don't want niggas to think I'm endorsing this kind of nigga. I don't stand close to niggas that do shit like that. I wonder how Godface would take that. I wonder. You understand? He got a panel of niggas up there. I want to see how he would take it if one of his partners picked up his car to go make a play. He gonna get down for a Tubi movie, but the nigga, he pick up one of his old bitches. He riding around. This nigga all on Dexter. Nigga all on Linwood. Talking to niggas about another kind of play. Didn't bring you your shit back. Like, here you go. Hey man, you know the feds probably got Blue's license plate behind that shit now, right? You know that, right? You could have got your man. You first of all, you picking up a chick. She's a government informant off top. You don't know if she put bugs in the car, tracking devices on the car. You don't really fucking know what she did. But just this careless. He's making verbally the point I'm trying to make. He's verbally telling a story about he's making this careless decision after this careless decision. But when he talks, he doesn't take any personal responsibility. It's somebody else's fault. See, I'm from a city where if you're going to get in that kind of activity, the first rule in that whole game is you don't fuck with no nigga in jail. He's hot. Nigga in the pen, he's hot. Where would you go to the... Who's getting any information from a nigga from the pen? Who? I don't know nobody that's doing no silly shit like that. If I really kept it funky with you though, we're kind of raised how to, we're taught how to do illegal activity, and we're taught that you don't fuck with a nigga in jail, and even when a nigga come home, he's still hot. You don't fuck with him. Cuff is the only guy that can play this super street guy that, Dollar Bill is doing this and do. He's a kingpin, but he's dealing with niggas in the can that's already hot. Meech is already hot. He's in the joint, but you gonna get a plug from this nigga? Okay, so my question is, but you was in the game for 30 years already up to this point. Where's your independent connections that you made on your own? But you know why I see you don't have any? Because I see through the witness statement of Tammy how you and Fidel relationship went. You just ran off on Buddy with the shit. So you had to double back, come back around, which put in a weird kind of way, because we're not looking at the backdrop of this. Let's say this all happened for real, like Cuff said it's happened. And let's say it happened like Tammy said it happened. Meech put you into play with a guy from Cali, and then you jump up and you run off on that nigga. But if we going along with your story, let's say Fidel is the cartel nigga that you said he is. What kind of fire did you put Meech and Tammy in right then and there? Because they don't know this nigga. They don't know Dollar Bill. They put you in play with him. If the story happened like you said it happened, you didn't think that Meech, because he had to be camped out. There was a time that Meech was camped out in California. You don't think that would have put Dog in some kind of fire with you doing that deal with homie like that? He's locked up. You know how many essays is in the pen? You know how that could have got Tammy jammed up? Even before you knew she was an informant, it could have got Shorty jammed up. He don't give a fuck. That's what. So it just, to me, it looks like this is what really happened. It looks like Meech could have facilitated some shit behind the wall, because this nigga's a trafficker. This is like kind of like what he do. So he's a trafficker. He did put you in play with a nigga, and you did indeed run off on the nigga. But look, they didn't wiretap your shit till August. So by the time you get on the hot streak, Meech and Fidel is already, ain't none of them really fucking with you like that no more. So you do come back around and you call Tammy. We know you a backdoor nigga because you backdoor Blue. So you backdoor Meech and you finna work through Tammy. And Tammy, like she said in her witness statement, she threw you off to CS2. CS2, it looks like she put you with Louise. But you didn't know that was Louise. You didn't know that was Louise that worked with DEA. You thought it was Martinez. He showed up to you like his name was Martinez and he was a dope boy nigga too. And then he set you up with a sham sting. That's what we see in Lorenzo Gibbs' paperwork. It was a sham sting after that. And you know what you did? You jumped back up and you pointed the finger back at Meech. Then you sent some paperwork at Meech. So you and your lawyer sent some paperwork so he can just, nigga, ain't no nigga on a 30-year stretch finna jump up and say shit about he was in some drugs. These nigga ain't got nothing to say about that. So what we heard was Demetrius on the phone call with 42 Doug, and he's on the phone call with another cat from St. Louis, Dollar Bill Jr. And Dollar Bill Jr., Meech says before he hangs up the phone, he says, hey man, if you got the paperwork, you should be able to read between the lines. What is Meech saying when he say that? Damn nigga, you should be able to read between the lines. What happened with that? I ain't got nothing to say, nigga. Y'all nigga better learn how to read and figure it out. All right. But Meech, you need to get up and say this and say this. Hey, this nigga still in jail. How come niggas think? How all of a sudden niggas think house arrest? You're free. You're not. You technically, Demetrius still is technically he's still in jail right now. Technically, he can't just jump up and talk about this and that. And no, he might have to go past the statute of limitation, but he just can't jump up and start talking about something. He's technically still in jail. He's just at the halfway house. That mean, nigga, you halfway out. You ain't all the way out. You halfway out, and while you are halfway out, your man from St. Louis is dry snitching, saying how you did this and you put this. Like, I'm like, damn, these niggas won't be happy to dog go back to jail or something. They're trying to make sure dog go back to jail or something. Cause I know they're not trying to save Dollar Bill. They don't even know Dollar Bill. Man, I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna leave it there. Yeah, I mean, cause I'm just, we having a good time. Beloved, we talking. But I'm like, nigga, I ain't buying that. No. I think, no. I ain't buying no third-party co-op. Hey, look, check this out. I want to say about 5 months. It's a nigga on the East Coast, right? It's a Sean G. Cat. And he started talking about this situation. So, even though he, recently started talking about it, I had a podcast I put up 5 months ago. And Cuff came to the internet in my humble opinion. I feel like what he did was he misrepresented how third-party cooperation works. So what I do, right, I go and I research that first. And what I discovered is that it's federal guidelines to fucking everything. It's federal guidelines of how you deal with a CI. It's federal guidelines of how you deal with a CS. It's federal guidelines of how, it's like they have guidelines for everything. You understand? So I also discovered it's federal guidelines about how third-party cooperation work. You understand? It's 5 bullet points, and you have to qualify. The inmate have to qualify for certain bullet points to even because it's like a streamline effect, right? It's like you got to have an informant. The informant got to be working with a prosecutor. You got to be working with an informant. The informant is going to go through an agent. The agent is going to go through the prosecutor. The prosecutor is going to take it to the judge. And then the judge can call you back and take shit off your sentence. Right? That's how it works. You understand? It's like a streamline kind of deal. You dig? So I'm looking at it's 5 bullet points. And I'm looking at the bullet points that it take for an inmate to qualify for this reduction in sentencing, and Meech, because he's like a king, he don't qualify for that. You understand? He's like a and not to use the chairman's name in vain, right? But if I was to say Larry Hoover, you understand? The way that Dollar Bill kind of framed it is that a person a nigga can snitch on whack 100, right? And then go to a prosecutor and say, I want to get the chairman's, Larry Hoover's time cut. And he kind of framed it like it worked like that. But it doesn't work that way, because Larry Hoover and brothers like Malachi Z. York and others, they're a top tier. It's a tier kind of deal. And it's a sentencing tier where these kind of guys, you can't use that for these kind of guys to get a time reduction. I mean, I can imagine, a prosecutor and a judge can do anything, but not not guys like that. Not guys like Meech and Terry and Hoover, and not those kind of guys. Like Preem and all these guys, you can't, that's high tier kind of guys. That third party co-op, what Cuff is really explaining is some shit that happened with guys that have 15, 10-year bids, 5 years. That's something they do that for them. They don't do that for the big guys, right? Pause. So when I discovered that first, I sent the joint to Sean G. So, you know what I mean? He can see that, well, homie don't even qualify for the third party co-op because he doesn't meet the bullet points that requires that. And then there's another thing. They have a side note when you start researching third party co-op. It's like a money play that they don't allow. You dig? It's like if you got like an informant and he or she is gonna, you know, work with an agent, if you start getting paid, it won't work no more. They won't. The judge is not going to qualify, because it's like you got to take one or the other kind of like deal. If you're doing this to get due the time cut, then you can't take the money. But if you take the money, you know what I'm saying, you can't get due the time cut. I don't know if I said it back, but I'll say it again. If you're taking money, and Tammy was taking money, she disqualifies any type of third party cooperation anyway. Because when they go before the judge and say, well, she's getting her pay, she can't get the money and get a nigga out. She can't get both things. If she was just saying, I'm doing this shit to get homie out, then they'd probably allow it. But not for Meech anyway, though. So it's like, he's like 0 for 2 when it comes to like the qualifications of that third party cooperation shit. He's like a top tier guy. But listen, in any event though, just go along. Let's just play along with the story. If we just, everything Cuff say it is real, everything Dollar Bill say it is real. But just think about it in your own mind. Do you fucking really think that a dude, because this is documented, Demetrius was running 2,500 kilos a month through his Atlanta hub. We're not talking Houston. We're not talking about Birmingham and Montgomery and Miami. We're not talking about what he was doing in New York City. God bless the dead, because we know that, you know, word on the street, we know that Jam Master Jay got caught up in some BMF beef. We're not talking about New York City. We're not talking about what he ran through LA. We're not talking about what he ran through St. Louis or Detroit. Atlanta hub alone, he was running 2,500 keys a month through Atlanta, right? All right. If my math is right, we know that it's 4 weeks in a month. You know what I'm saying? So that means homie was doing like 600 some keys a week, bro. 600 keys. And then you get a nigga online that got caught with 6 keys. And he wants the general public to believe that the guy that was moving 600 keys plus a week could tell on him in St. Louis and get a time cut. I mean, what kind of time cut they were gonna give me? Taking the nigga 3 months off? Nigga got caught with 6 keys. What kind of time cut they gonna give? I mean, just enlighten us, Dollar Bill. What kind of time cut was me looking at? 5.5 months. Then they got a 30-year bid. Hey man, you turned in Dionne Gatling, man, you did some outstanding work. The judge get up there, yeah, we're gonna give him a sentencing reduction of what? We're gonna take 6 months off. Nigga, ain't nobody stupid enough to believe that. Just like me sitting in the barbershop with Vernon Maxwell, because he's a basketball player from my era. You know what I'm saying? I'm a 70s baby. So I'm sitting in the goddamn barbershop with Vernon Maxwell, and Vernon started telling the story about how Chicago Bulls was trying to trade Jordan for him. And we sitting up in there, we like, Vernon, we like you, my nigga. Vernon, you on a lot of these podcasts, boy, you entertaining. But my nigga, the minute you said that Chicago Bulls organization was going to trade Mike for you straight up, nigga, we knew it was a lie. Stop lying, my nigga. Peace and black power to you, family. Yes. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you guys for hanging out. Beloved, this is indeed Real Black Content from Podcast. Hey man, it's your brother V. Peace, peace, beloved, and more peace.
Is that black people need to stop lying. Say something.